So last class I completed about the discussion on the buck converter for different modes of operations and the pattern of the inductor current. Okay, inductor current ripple. Okay, inductor voltage. Okay, so again we have some another two topics on it. So subtopics. Okay, so after that we can switch to the new ideas like DC transformer based modeling of the switching converter. So before going the next module, so not module, so sub module. Okay, so I need to complete these two topic by today's lecture. Okay, after that I will start that after the vacations. Okay, so I'll start that DC transformer is modeling and the AC transformers by modeling of that switching converters. Okay, so here you can see that basic circuit diagram of that boost converter. I know that is very common topics. Okay, common topology, all of you are aware about it. Okay, so again SPDT, single pole double thrown switch is using over here. Okay, so two mode means two configurations are necessary, two necessary configurations are there. So here that ideal switches, why it is called that ideal, so we're not considering any other drop. Okay, over it, so realization using that MOSFET, if MOSFET is there, so how it will be looking like that. So here you can see the structure of that MOSFET means, sorry, MOSFET structure is there Q1 and you are giving that gate voltages. Okay, so it is your gate pulses. So DTS means on time gate pulses, and then TS minus DTS means it is off time. Okay, so here you can see your input side voltage is there. Okay, both of the cases that voltage is there. So inductor current and plus means inductor voltage. Okay, so two positions is there, 1 and 2. Okay, so 1 2 positions means it's charging current, so IC is there, capacitor current, and it's a load resistance, that is capacitor. Okay, so here we need to know about that inductor current, sorry, inductor voltage pattern. So initially when switch is closed, okay, then what happened, so that path will be short circuited. So MOSFET is on means it is short circuited path, so there will be no current flowing from that this from your source side to you can see that it is short circuited part, so only one current is flowing, that is your charging current. Okay, so sorry, discharging current from the capacitor through the load. Okay, and another current is only flowing in these directions. Okay, so that will be inductor will be charged over it. Okay, so what will be that voltage? So that voltage of inductor is coming Vg minus that zero voltage is there, no, Vg minus 0. One second in the second pulse means when that switch will be off, so it will be open circuited. So rest of the, so Vg plus VL, that will be fed to the load. So what is the value across your inductor voltage, that will be coming again that Vg minus V0. So it's a boost converter, so V0 is greater than of your Vg. So definitely the negative half will be again magnitude is more than your positive half. Okay, so here you can see over that, so boost converter analysis. Okay, so it's your original converters look like that. So it's your plus my that is potential drop across your inductor. Okay, so when switch is in position 1, so what will be that value of which that I am telling about you. So it's your inductor current IL, so plus minus that VL is there. Okay, so it is your inductor L. So how much that value is there, so VL equal to Vg minus that is short circuit, so it is 0. Okay, so if that diagram is there, okay, let me check. Okay, so it's your VL for positive half, you are getting that diagram, so wavefront, so it is your DTS. Okay, that DTS time instant. Another one is D dash TS means it is D dash means 1 minus D. Okay, so it is D dash TS. Okay, so that Vg is coming over here. Okay, and then negative half, so you are getting that V. What is V? It is your output voltage. Okay, steady state output voltage. So it is Vg minus V. So V is greater than Vg. That's why that negative half value will be more than your positive half value. Okay, so you can. this side. So for what is the value of IC? IC definitely minus V by R means why it is in minus direction. So first your capacitor is, you can say like that, capacitor is discharging. Okay, so how much that value? So total voltage is V whole divided by R. So IC, if you using that KVL, so that point, okay, if you using that KVL at that point, so which is your incoming? So IC also incoming, and sorry, outgoing, it is also outgoing. Okay, I0. So if you consider one arrow over here, so it is your I0. So that point IC and I0 both are outgoing. So how much? So IC equal to IC plus I0 equal to 0. So what is that value of IC? IC equal to minus I0. How much value is that? It is V. You can see lowercase italic V, but in my last discussion I discussed about that we should you should neglect that very less variations of your steady voltage, so ripple may be neglected. So it is coming that lowercase v equals to capital V, you are considering like that way. So that's why V by R it is coming. Okay, set IC value first case. Okay, so that minus is there. In second case, what happened? That same thing is also be there, but your total current IL. Okay, total current IL equal to IC minus I0. Okay, sorry, IL equal to IC plus I0. So what is the value of IC? IC equal to I0 minus IL. That should be there. Okay, so that it is your discharging proportion. You can say like that. First one is your discharging, second one is your charging, like that manner. Okay, discharging of the capacitor, first and second case your charging of the capacitor. Okay, so here you can see that value. Okay, so switch on positions 2, switch on position 2, you can see over it. So it is your IC. Okay, so C and R both are there. So what is that value? So first case for the sub interval 1, switching position 1. Okay, so inductor voltage and capacitor current. Okay, inductor voltage and capacitor current, how much value is there? So it is VL. Okay, so equal to VZ. Definitely that question is 0. So VL equals to VZ and IC equals to definitely minus V by R. Okay, so small ripple approximation that I am telling you. So VL equal to lowercase VL equal to VG and IC equal to minus V by R. Okay, that you have approximated. So that DC value you have considered. Okay, so in sub interval 2, okay, so switching position 2, so inductor voltage and the capacitor current. So VL equal to VG minus IC equal to IL minus V by R. Definitely the simple thing. VL equal to what? VZ minus V. So approximated value when you are neglect that small ripple. So VG minus capital V. In case of IC, so it will be capital I. So it is your I minus V by R. Okay. So it is look like that. So if you replace all of them, so you can get that value. So initially when your inductor voltage is positive, you can see over here. So your capacitor current, you can see it is negative like that. When your inductor voltage is negative over it, okay, so your capacitor voltage, your capacitor current is positive. So both are in difference. Okay, so both are in different in manner. Okay, why it is positive? So because of that minus V by R, here that positive component is not there, but here the positive component is there. Okay, that is I, and that value is much more than your V by R. That's why it is coming positive. Okay. So now you can go for that inductor voltage second balance. Okay, so it is important. If you add both of them, so you are getting that amount of value. So it is your VG. Okay, so VG is there like previous calculations. Okay, VG is there, and it is your VG minus V, capital V. Okay, so that value is D dash TS. Okay, so now that volt second applied to the inductor over one switching period, so how much value is that? So 0 to TS. Okay, 0 to TS, it is VL within bracket T dt. Okay, so you can get that averaging VG into DTS, that I am telling you, VG into DTS, and that question VG minus V into D dash TS. Okay, whole divided by capital TS is your average value. Okay, but equate to 0. So equate to 0 for get and collected the term. So how much value is there? You have to calculate. Okay, So how much value is that? D dash. Okay, so you are making it 0 because as per the convention, both of the side, energy is charging, energy is discharging, both should be same. So average value should be same. So if it is same, so definitely it will be 0. That's why it is 0. Okay, so if you equate both of them, you will get that V equal to Vg by d dash. Okay, so the voltage conversion ratio is therefore that MD. Okay, so MD that I am telling you, that gain voltage conversion ratio, that is capital V by capital G equals to 1 by d dash, means 1 by 1 minus d. So how does that curve was there? It's a non-linear curve. Okay, so in d value initially you make it 0 to infinite. Okay, so 0 means 1 and infinite means 0 to 1. Okay, d value 0 to 1, so 0 means it will be 1. Okay, gain value, and 1 means it is infinite, so it is starting from 1, then gradually it will be increasing up to infinite, but practically it's not possible, so it's a very high value. Okay. Okay, so that curve is there. Okay, so as for the conversion ratio, that 1 by d dash, it equals to 1 by 1 minus d. So conversion ratio MD of the boost converter. So it is your MD. So when d is equal to 0, so here d equal to 0. Okay, so you will get that unit value. Okay, it's your 1, and when 1 it will be infinite. Okay. So determinations of the inductor current. Okay, the inductor current DC component. So how much that value? So IC. Okay, so IC is there. Okay, IC and T. So reversing also be there. So capacitor charging balance, capacitor charge balance. So how much that value? Okay, so definitely you can go for that averaging. So 0 to TS. Okay, so IC equals to how much that value? IC equal to ICT dt. Okay, equals to minus V by R dTs, minus V by R dTs plus I minus V by R whole into d dash ts. So you are making it average, so again it will be 0. So how much that value? So I equal to V by d s into R. So that I equal to Vg by d square by R. So it's look like a one kinds of parabolic in nature. Okay, so that Vg, so you can change that 1 minus d dash means 1 minus d. Again d will be 0. Okay, so d is 0 means it will be Vg by R. So one constant value we are getting over here. Okay, and when d equals to 1, so it's a infinite. So when d equals to 1, it's a very high value. So it is infinite. Look like that. Okay, so increasing of duty ratio, you are getting that waveform. Determination of the inductor current ripple, like buck converter, you can go for the same calculations. Okay, so VL equal to Vg by L, so sorry, Vg. So again for the first case, so L DIL dt equal to Vg, so DIL dt equal to Vg by L. So for the case 1, you are getting the slope, so it is slope on Vg by L. Okay, so it's your inductor current, so it's your current, the average current. So how much ripple you have to calculate that value. Okay, so that value you have to calculate. First you will go for the delta I, then again delta I, both of the case. Okay, so you can add both of them. So if you add both of them, so how much value will be there? That Vg by L. Okay, so it is coming like that. So it's directly we are not able to add because that component, time component is different. Okay, so delta IL, so it is look like that. You can see like the delta IL. What is dt? In first case it is dTs. Okay, so delta IL by dTs, capital dTs equals to Vg by L. So delta IL equal to Vg by L into dTs. Okay, plus in the second case in sub interval 2. So for sub interval 1, we are getting that value Vg by L into dTs. Okay, so delta IL. In second case, you are getting that Vg minus V by L into d dash ts. How does that value? D dash means 1 minus d into ts, t suffix s, capital T suffix s. So your delta IL, you can add both of them. So 2 delta IL equal to how much that value? Vg by L. Okay, within bracket. So both of the cases it is present. So it will be there 1 minus dts. So it is dts. It will be there. And Vg by L, okay, so that component, okay, so that component it is you can say like that if you add both of them, so it will not be there because of there is no value of that V. Okay, so finally change of the inductor during that sub interval 1, the slope of the length of the interval. Okay, so 2 delta L you are getting that value. Okay, so 2 delta L, so solve that peak ripple. So how much that value? Delta L equal to Vg by 2L into BTS. So choose the L such a manner desired ripple magnitude should be obtained. So you have to choose, you have to pick that value of L, so that ripple should be less. Okay. So determination of the capacitor voltage ripple, same thing for the different expressions. Okay. Now dVc dt you are able to get that value. Okay. So that is V minus V by RC for sub interval 1. For the sub interval 2, again you will get that dVc dt equal to IC by I by C minus V by RC. Okay, so change of the capacitor voltage sub interval 1 of the slope 1, which is length of that sub interval 1. So again you are getting that ripple. Okay, so finally you will get the expressions of the ripple. Okay, voltage ripple. Okay, so again that current ripple will be decided by the choosing of that inductor, and the voltage ripple definitely it will be decided by the choosing of your capacitor, output capacitor. So here you can see the slope of the capacitor current. Okay, so how much that value is there, or sorry, capacitor voltage slope, and previous one you are getting that slope of the inductor current. Okay, so choose C such desired the voltage ripple magnitude is obtained. In practice, the capacitor of the equivalent series resistance or ESR leads to the increase of the voltage ripple. Okay, so I think all of you getting the idea about the voltage and current ripple. Then we can go for that another configuration that is called the Chuk converter. Okay, so in Chuk converter you can see two energy storing elements. So sorry, two inductors, means total 4 energy storing element. Okay, previous cases you can see only 2 energy storing element. Okay, so only one capacitor on inductor. So that means if you go for the transfer function of this circuit or mathematical modeling of the circuit, you will get quadratic equation, means sorry, you will get that equation having 2 order. Okay, but in this case you are having that 4 energy storing element, 2 inductor, 2 capacitor. Okay, so that's why you will get fourth order equations. Okay, so it's a fourth order converter. Okay, Chuk converter, the fourth order converter. Okay, so it having also one switch. On switch means switching position 1 and switching position 2. So when that switch is on, definitely the process of boost converter we can observe. Okay, also here you can see there is no diode, so definitely it will be that capacitor will be discharged, so that some of the portion of current also will go there, so it will be charging, discharging. So you know that concepts. Okay, so in Chuk converter that MOSFET is given. So MOSFET is given means again the switch will be replaced by the MOSFET, and that D means it is your diode. So first case what happened, that capacitor will be discharged through this path, and that capacitor, load capacitor, will be discharged through this path, and that load resistance path, and the first and the inductor current or the Vg. Okay, so Vg is there now, so inductor current will be through this path. Okay, and when that switch is off, means it will be off and it will be on. So again that energy will be shifted to that V1, that means energy will be charging from L1 to C1. Okay, so that path need to be followed. So switching one realizations that I am telling about you. So it is switching one, position 1 and 2, position 1 and position 2, that I am telling you. So that it will be short circuited first, and that capacitor, here you can see that through the diode. Okay, through the diode, that capacitor diode is first case, the diode is open circuited. Okay, so that through the capacitor, then inductor 2, and that capacitor it is a capacitor 2, capacitor 1. So capacitor 2, then load will be connected for the case 1. In case 2, that MOSFET will be off. Okay, that means that MOSFET will be off, so it will be in the circuit and it will be short circuited, so diode will be turned on. Okay, so through this path it will be shorted. Okay, so that position will be the same timing positions, this one. And first case, this, if that path is shorted, means that potential, this is the common potential. Okay, common for the case 1, this point is common potential with your neutral line, so that point will be connected. Okay, that point will be connected and it will be automatically open. So that capacitor will be connected over here. So 0 to capacitor, then inductor, then for the case 1, and it is 0 to inductor and Vg. Okay, for the case 1. In case 2, diode is shorted, then it will be open. So these terminal, okay, that's position. Okay, that potential of these two terminal will be same. So you can forcefully make them shorted. Okay, not forcefully make them. Sorry, you can that connections. Okay, you are making it connected. So what happened? What will be the circuit? So Vg inductor, it will be automatically open. No current will be there. Then C1, then this part. Okay, and the second side, that portion will be shorted, means shorted, and inductor and the capacitor. So directly inductor connected over here. Okay. So I think you are getting that two configuration, circuit configuration for position 1 and position 2. The capacitor charging. So first case, the C1 release the energy to the output. For first case, C1 is released. So initially that C1 should be charged condition. Okay, and that means before the position 1. So definitely it's a cyclic order configuration. No? So first coming to the position 1, definitely position 2 will be there. Okay, so due to the position 2, here you can see for position 2, capacitor C1 is charged from the input. Okay, that charge is used for the next instant of position 1. Okay, so next instant of position 1 means capacitor will, that charged capacitor will be discharged through this part, means your load side capacitor and load side resistance. Okay, and mode 1 you can see that capacitor is discharging. That means that capacitor is used, C1 capacitor is like a source. Okay, this is source. Okay, and it will be charging the C2 as well as discharging through this part. Okay, and that energy is transferred to that VL2. Okay, so first case, that energy VL1 is, that energy Vg is transferred, that energy from Vg is transferred to VL1. In second case, that VL1 and Vg both having the power to transfer the energy to C1. Okay, so in second case, that VL2 is behaves like a source. Okay, so that source inductor is transferring the energy to C2 and R. Okay, so the waveform during this, what happened?
Sir, in the previous slide, yeah, in this, in the first position, capacitor C1 is releasing the energy, right?
Yes, yes.
Then why is the convention different from in both the circuit cases? From position 1 to position 2, the convention is different. It's shown
Convention is different means I am not able to understand.
here in this slide, sir. V1 voltage, since C1 is releasing the energy, current direction IC1 is different in both the cases. It's fine, but voltage.
No, I am telling you one thing, that in case of IC1, okay, in case of IC1, you can see one thing, that direction of that IL1 and direction of the IC1. Okay, sorry, the polarity of the VL1. Okay, the polarity of the VL1 and the current direction of IC2. Okay, throughout the convention. Okay, so in case of boost converter, in case of buck converter, in case of buck boost converter, in case of Chuk converter, in case of Sepic converter, Jita converter, that however that configuration is there, that polarity should not be changed. Okay, that polarity is always be fixed. Okay, only that convention. So if you directly able to change that polarity, so you are not able to understand that waveform. Okay, so first instant what you have said, that VL1 is charging. Okay, you can say like that, energy is stored to the VL1. In second case, you can see that VL1 is charging as well as it is discharging. So as per our idea from the basic electrical, that polarity should be changed. Okay, that polarity should be changed, but that's
I'm asking about capacitance C1, sir. V1 voltage.
Definitely. No. In first case, what happened? Okay, so you are telling me that that it is negative, it is positive. Why? Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It is similar to, you can see from this circuit. Okay, so it is similar to that first cases. Okay, so you can see that here the MOSFET is connected. Right now there is no MOSFET. Okay, am I right? So if that MOSFET is connected over here, okay, so that path will be short circuited. Okay, So if that path will be short circuited, so you can consider that point, you can forcefully make this point to connect here. Okay, not forcefully, automatically it will be connected. So
Yes,
that
sir.
minus will be upper side and plus will be lower side. Similarly, that
Yes, sir.
as per the
Understood.
previous convention. Okay, are you
Yes, sir.
getting?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. So here we have some set of equations for the different conduction interval. Okay, so for the mode 1 operations, for the say, sub interval 1, that is called also the mode 1. So you can write all those equations that VL1 equal to VG. Okay, so VL2, that VL2 is what, how much value that V1. Again you are considering that plus minus, na, so definitely it will be minus of that. Okay, so that's why it is coming minus V1 minus V2. So automatically V2 will be there. So subtraction of these two. Okay, so IC1 equal to I2. Okay, and IC2 equal to again I2 minus V2 by R. So I have already told that ripple should be approximated or neglected for all the intervals, sub intervals. So V1 equal to lowercase italic V1 will be capital V1, lowercase italic V2 will be capital V2. So all those things will be replaced as per that approximations, approximated value. Okay, again it is happened for the sub interval 2, the all the set of equations are there. Okay, inductor voltage and capacitor currents. Okay, so VL1 you are getting some set of the equations, and you can replace all those things after, you can replace all those things after minimizing the, sorry, after approximating that italic, that approximating that small variations in the constant value. Okay, so finally we will get some set of equations. So you can say like that the what is the waveform of V1. So it is written that waveforms. So inductor voltage VL1, for DTS it is coming VG. Okay, so from simple thing, so from here it is VG, and second condition VG minus V1. So directly we are getting from here VL1 is VG and second VG minus 2. Again L2 we are getting minus V1 minus V2. So it is in initially negative, and second case only minus V2 is there. Okay, so if you draw that diagram, okay, so inductor VL2 voltage. Okay, so it is usually minus V1 minus V2, so only minus V2. Okay, so again you are making it averaging all those values. Okay, so I think you can do your classwork copy, so details calculation, so you can understand from Ericsson book. You can also follow, because I am always this, all those things is following from Ericsson book. Okay, so all the convention, everything. Okay, so voltage second balance for L1 you can also observe. So finally you will get that values. Okay, the principle of inductor, voltage second, and the capacitor charge values. Okay, so voltage seconds for inductor. Okay, and capacitors charge values. Okay, state charge valence state, the average value of the periodic inductor voltage and the capacitor current waveform should be 0. Okay, then the converter operates in the steady state. Hence to determine the steady state condition in the converter, let's take the inductor voltage. So that all the values have been sketched over here. I think all of you will understand how that value is coming. So then capacitor current IC2 you can see over there. So all the time it is coming fixed, same. So it is 0. Okay, so IC however it is like 0. So not during the both of the sub interval, the capacitor current IC2 is equal to the difference between the inductor current I2 and the load current V2IL. When the ripple is neglected, IC is a constant and equal to the 0. That's the reason for equate that IC2 the 0. Okay. Then again you can make that equilibrium value, so make it 0. Okay, so you'll get some expressions. Okay, voltage expressions, so Vg by V1, so like that way. So you'll get some of the expression V2 by Vg, it is coming minus d by 1 minus d. So in case of actually Chuk converter is another kind of buck boost converter. In buck boost converter, the polarity, output voltage polarity is coming to the negative, but in Chuk converter you are making it positive. Okay, so it's one kind of buck boost converter. So expression will be similar to your buck boost converter, that minus d by 1 minus d. In buck boost converter, it is coming d by 1 minus d. So in Chuk converter, reverse thing also happens. So that's why minus is there. So you can see at 0.5. So if you place it 0.5, okay, so you will get that MD value equal to 1. Okay, unity value you will be getting. So at 1, when it will be observed at 0.5, that means it is your 0.5, you will get that value 1. So 0 to 1, then again it will be changing. Okay, so make that value d equals to infinite, make the value d equal to 0, it should be 0. So it is starting from 0 and ending to the infinite, that means very high value. Okay, so the conversion ratio m equals to v by capital V by Vg. Okay, so again you are going to be using the tell me.
Sir, what is the advantage of Cook converter over the buck boost converter, sir?
In case of buck boost converter, you see there is some energy storing elements is only 2. Okay, that is another benefit. Okay, so if you compare with that SEPIC converter, okay, so if you compare with that your Chuk converter and SEPIC converter, that both having the force, both having some 4 energy storing elements. Okay, so you can directly compare with the SEPIC converter. So Chuk converter is one kind of derived form of that buck boost converter. Okay, so buck boost converter, you can see one thing, that stress. Okay, so energy gain, you are getting that more gain compared to your buck boost converter. But I think the polarity also be different, means polarity also be different with your buck boost converter. But SEPIC converter, same thing also can happen, again the polarity will be reversed compared to your Chuk converter. Okay, so main thing is that voltage gain. Okay, gain is more in case of Chuk converter, and topologically it is also been different. No? So here you can see the inductor current waveforms. Okay, for interval 1 you will getting some of the slope, interval 2 same slope. So you have that inductor voltage expressions from here. Okay, so inductor voltage expressions for 1 and 2. So you can replace that one L1 d L1 dt. Okay, again again you are getting for L d L1 dt. Okay, so you are getting that amount of, you can replace them. Okay, so 2 expressions will be there. Okay, so after that you can draw that waveform. So for the positive slope and negative slope, both of the cases you can observe. Okay, for interval 2 again you are getting same thing. Okay, IL1, IL2, so interval 1 and interval 2, both you are observed. For the capacitor voltage, you are getting again sub interval 1 and sub interval 2. Okay, both you can also observe. So you are using that value for calculating that current ripple. Okay, and here you are using that calculation for getting the voltage ripple. Okay, so now you can go for that analysis. But that DC components or solution and simplicity for analysis results, and you are approximated all those values. Okay, so more or less if you see that value is more or less same, but sometimes you are getting that I2, here you are using that I2, that one V2 term you have been neglected. For what? Basically, sorry, V1 plus V2 you have considered as a VG. Okay, so adding both of them, so you can see that stress. Okay, the stress of the switch. Okay, in different, in buck boost converter, you can see at the time of off period the total voltage, total VG voltage is applied across the switches. Okay, but like that things. Okay, but in case of Chuk converter and SEPIC converter, Zeta converter, that voltage stress across the switches may be different. Okay, and maybe conventional, less than with your conventional topologies. Okay, of the converter. That's the one of the important benefits. Okay, that's why you can see over there that replacing all those things, and finally different expression you are getting over here. Okay, so estimating the ripples in the converter, then low pass filter, so how much value will be there. Again you are considering one buck converter as an example, determined by the output voltage ripple. Okay, inductor current ripple. Okay, that you know that you have already discussed, I have already discussed. Okay, so I am not going to discuss it again. So some calculations are there for find out that current ripple and the voltage ripple for the buck converter. I have discussed it for the boost converter already. Okay, so buck converter, so how much that total charge IC is there na charge balancing. So voltage, sorry, in case of inductor current, so you can considering the voltage time voltage time equations, you can go that comparison, but charge balancing, voltage current balancing was there, and here you can see the charge balancing. Okay, so Q charge is stored over here. So for the delta IL, so how much that value, it is TS by 2. So okay, so half base into height, if you get that amount of area, so half is there, base equal to TS by 2, height is delta IL. Okay, so you are directly getting amount of value. So if you have the expression of IL, so you will directly calculate that how much inductor is required. Okay, so how much inductor you have to select over it. Okay, so charge balancing is there. So current of IC, so what is written over here? So if the capacitor voltage ripple is small, then essentially all the IC component inductor flow through the capacitor. Okay, so ripple is less means most all the ripples, okay, that will be mitigated after passing through the inductor. Okay, so after passing through the capacitor. Okay, so you'll get some fixed voltage. So pulsating DC totally converted to the fixed DC. Okay, so in case of current IC, okay, so estimator of the capacitor voltage ripple, that is delta V. So IC positive for the half of the switching period. This positive current cause of the capacitor voltage DC to the increase between its minimum and the maximum extreme value. Okay, during that means extreme means extreme value. During this time, the total charge Q is deposited on the capacitor plates. Okay, so that is QIC equal to 2 delta V. Okay, change of charge equal to change of voltage. That value we have to calculate it. So here you can see that IC is 0. Okay, so not 0, actually nearer to the 0. So definitely you will get some of the value, that is DC. Okay, so it is your delta ripple. Okay, voltage ripple, and it's your current ripple. Okay, so similar things also be there. So total charge calculations of the area of the triangle that I am telling you just before for the inductor. Okay, so Q equal to how much that value, total charge Q means area. Okay, how much area is there, half base into height. Okay, base is TS by 2. Okay, base is TS by 2, and what is your height, it is delta IL. Okay, so now how does that value, so you can replace, so eliminate that Q to solve delta Q. Okay, replacing all those value delta V in terms of Q, so you'll get that expressions. Okay, so here that is enough for today's sessions. Okay, so next class again I'll start the next section, that is modeling by using the DC transformerized concept of the switching converter. Okay, so basic ideas are required, so that's why I am telling that how to calculate the ripple, how to expressions of the equation. Basically when we switch to the next sections, okay, so all the time we are dealing with some state equations. Okay, state equations means which is so what do you mean by the state equation? So minimal number of variables that can define the state of your circuits. Okay, so normally inductor current and capacitor voltage is considered for the states variable of our switching converter. So that's why the basic expressions are mandatory to understand how it is coming. That's why I just give that initial brief, okay, for before starting the actual modeling. Okay, so basically that's why that chapter initial portion is important, and these initial portions I think already covered in power electronics class. So that's why I am giving very brief idea about it. Okay, so my suggestions all of you to solve it from the Ericsson book. Okay, so by these vacations. Okay, so and utilize your vacations. Actually our subject is means course is started with quite late. Okay, so that's why I am suggesting most of you to utilize your vacations for practicing the numerical problems, okay, as well as some analytical problems, circuit problem. Okay,